Hello, you beautiful souls, and welcome back to Wildfire and Earth. My name's Bradley, and today we are going to do a special Yuletime unboxing. So, Cody and I, my partner, are going to be spending Christmas with our family. So, we're not going to get to have that intimate Christmas time. So we decided that we would order our gifts, and whenever they come in, we would give them to each other. And my gifts came in. So I've got two new card decks that I'm going to be going through and unboxing for you. But I thought I could show you guys how to cleanse your deck whenever you first receive it at first use, how to attune to your deck so that it works the best for you, so that you're receiving clear and insightful messages and you begin to create a relationship, and then kind of what I do to start a deck fresh. So this video is a surprise unboxing, an early Christmas present for me, early Yule present, whatever you like to call it, a holiday gift. I'm just so thankful that they came in, and I'm so excited to work with these decks for you guys in the upcoming readings. But I really thought it would be essential, especially with everybody getting gifts or maybe ordering some decks on their own, and have that question, well, what do I do now? Now I have the deck. How do I use it? How do I, get it set and attuned to my energies? And how do I go about getting to know it? So this is going to be a little video on unboxing that. So you'll get to see some of my excitement on seeing a new deck, and also how to use your deck and get totally in tune with it so that you're having an amazing experience. So first, I think we're going to start with the tarot, because most people usually work with tarot decks. I know oracle decks are starting to get more popular, but when it comes to oracle decks, there are a couple of little extra steps that I'll add to it later on as we're going through that deck. But first, let's start with this. This is the Light Seer's Tarot. I've had my eye on this for quite a while, and Cody got it for me for Christmas, so I'm very excited to be using this tarot deck. Its artwork is just... and can we talk about the artwork? It is absolutely beautiful. It's fantastic. So I should have brought scissors, but step one, cut through the plastic with something. I'm using my fingernail. You can use whatever you like, a letter opener or some stuff, because some people don't like to scuff the boxes or anything like that. So we're just gonna get this out of its plastic. Where'd my trash can go? My trash can is vanished. Alright, so it's in a beautiful box. Hay House always makes really good decks, so shout out to Hay House. Thank you so much for making these incredible artists. And this tarot deck is by the creator Chris Ann, so I'm really excited to get my hands on this. And the back of the box says, by reimagining the traditional tarot archetypes and symbols in a contemporary, boho and intuitive style, the Light Seer's Tarot expresses the light and shadow sides of our natures and explores the lessons that can be learned from both. The expressive characters who live within the landscapes of the cards tell stories, ask questions, and provide guidance. This deck is an ideal companion as you seek to uncover the places in your life and in yourself that are most in need of illumination. Hence the Light Seer's deck. So I am a shamanic witch, but I also resonate with the energy of light worker. And I think the reason that is because I grew up Baptist. I would have to say I am a recovered Baptist, because some people that come from Christian backgrounds completely reject their Christian background and move totally into pagan or witchcraft or atheist, so on. I have chosen to use my Christian background as a foundation, because I don't want to be an oath breaker, and I took specific oaths that I would, that Jesus Christ is my savior, all those other things, and that take no other gods before me. I really still believe in that. And so if you resonate with that, that's probably why you and I have shared videos together. But I also feel like that is also the light worker path of learning the more esoteric, mystical side of Christianity and bringing that in. For me, it was a little bit of a spiral. So I kind of left Christianity and started to turn my back on it a little bit, and then got into shamanism and realized how connected it was. Then I circled back around to witchcraft and started adding that with some meditation, with some yoga, and we just all spiraled back to the center. And I realized that because of my Christian foundation, I do have good ideals, good principles. It's just not always expressed within the Christian church or Christian doctrine as we know it today. But once again, just like being the mystic, you start to take the truths that you can from different practices and religions. And so I was raised in that, mostly against my choice, right? I didn't really have a choice. I just grew up in it and accepted it. And I did find beautiful messages there and had some powerful visions and intuitive messages, but I was told it wasn't real and that it didn't have a place in the church. So obviously I had to go look elsewhere, but that doesn't mean that that faith leaves with me. It comes with me. It is mine, right? So it's my foundation, and that's why I really I'm excited to check out this light seer's work, because I think it's going to link a lot towards the light workers, the angelic realms, you know, the sacred geometry, different things like that. So, all right, first impression, let's look at this card back here. This is absolutely beautiful. It's really giving me third eye vibes for sure, but I love the green color that helps you instantly begin to connect to your heart chakra. And also the diamond here is also showing me that this can be a tool. See, you start getting intuitive hits the moment you open the box, so pay attention to those, guys. But I'm seeing this diamond here is also, this is going to be a deck that's really going to help me with some of those subtle nuances that might need to be shaved off. You know, maybe someone would call this your rough edges, you know, help you just, you know, smooth those rough edges out so that you can shine brighter, be your best self, right? So the first thing I really like to do with a tarot deck is unbox it. You know, take it out of the box, check out the manual, get the cards ready, and have them set. Now, there are a couple of different ways you can cleanse your tarot deck. The first way is smudging. Now, you can use herbs, white sage, whatever works for your tradition. I'm not a big fan of telling people what they can and cannot do. Whatever resonates with you, resonates with you. So you can use this. I prefer to use white sage because that is how I was trained in shamanism. So I understand the smudging rituals. I understand those, and I've accepted them as my rituals because of my Native American background. So I add it to my practice. So for you, you could get herb smudges, or you can even use incense. Incenses are easier. They are harder to acquire, magically created. A lot of times you have to go to your occult shop or maybe a metaphysical bookstore. But if you really need one in a pinch, you can grab some from Walmart or the Dollar General. I promise you can do magic on a budget, as long as it has the proper resin in it. You know, if you're using myrrh, make sure it has myrrh resin. If you're using frankincense, make sure it has frankincense resin, etc., etc. Dragon's blood is a wonderful one that you can find relatively prevalent, because there's a lot of different spiritual practices and religions that use dragon bloods as a cleansing. And I believe that resin comes from the acacia tree, if I'm not mistaken. So that's the dragon blood resin. Make sure you look for those and one that you can use for cleansing, okay? Because that's excellent for it. But I start off by, you know, either smudging my deck first, and then this is just something I do. I also smudge the manual and the box. So I would smudge inside the box and inside this. Now, the reason I'm not lighting these today is because we do have a special guest with us in this room, because I'm actually transitioning out of this room into another room. We're working on things. There's going to be different lighting in that other room, so I'm excited to use that as more natural sunlight. So I'm swapping with my partner. He has his art studio, so his art studio is going to become my magic room, and my magic room is going to become his art studio. So we started that transition, and with that transition came Aryan Rod, our beautiful pink-toed tarantula. And I'm going to jump to a video here, so if you have any triggers for tarantulas or spiders, just fast forward real quick, and I'll put a link down, or I'll put a link on the screen real quick where you can jump to that time to where we get back to it. But I'm going to give you a little tour of her terrarium really fast. And this is Aryan Rod. All right, so here is our little new room companion. This is Aryan Rod. She is a pink-toed tarantula. You can barely see her there. She's so little and fuzzy and cute. Yes. Her name's Aryan Rod. She's been with us for about 9 months now. We think she's going into pre-molt because she's come out of her little trunk here. This is her home. That's her home right there. And she's starting to build a little something against the wall. So that's her. I think she's absolutely lovely. All right, back to the video. Okay, so that's why I couldn't light the sage, because I don't want it to hurt her, or light any incenses, because tarantulas can be very sensitive to this, and she's our first tarantula, and we're just trying to take good care of her and make sure she's happy and safe. So that's just a little FYI for some of you witchies that might have some tarantula or insect familiars, to be careful what incenses you burn and what you use in your practice, so that your pets stay healthy as well. The next thing you can use to cleanse your deck, if you don't want to use any incense or sage, or if that's just not your thing, is crystals. Clear quartz is one of the most powerful crystals you can find out there, and it is excellent, especially if you can find one kind of like this, where it's like a crystal bed. Or even, I'm from Arkansas, so there are quartz crystals aplenty around here, from Hot Springs and Little Rock area and all over the place. There's so many crystal mines and things like that you can go and get it yourself. But normally you can find a bed of quartz crystals, maybe about the size of your hand or bigger, that you could actually set your deck on overnight to cleanse that. Or you can take your deck and set the quartz crystal on top of it like that, and that will help cleanse your quartz crystal as well. Okay, help cleanse your quartz crystal. That will help cleanse your tarot deck as well. So this is just attuning it right now. I'm going to let it sit there for a few seconds. And the reason quartz is really good at doing this is because clear quartz is clarity, and it also amplifies the energy that is already in the tarot deck, because each tarot deck, once it's been made, each oracle deck, once it's been made, has the energy of its creator, has the energy of the images, has the energy of those cards and symbolism and intent. So all you're doing is just clearing away, right? The clear quartz, clearing away what doesn't belong here, right? So that's how the clear quartz work. It clears away what doesn't belong. All right. The second way you can clear your tarot deck or new oracle deck is by blessing your cards. I know it sounds silly, but prayer is really a powerful, powerful tool that you have in your craft. All right. That's something that a lot of us learn how to do. And especially if you work with deities, it's really good for you to do that, to invite your deity to cleanse your tarot deck. But if you do not, you can also bless it using the energies of the universe, Reiki, different energies, right? So this is just where we introduce some spiritual energies to the deck to say, these are the energies I kind of bring to the table, and I kind of want them to help me understand this tarot deck. So something you could say is hold it in your hands, or for me, I really like holding it close to my heart. And I say, hello, new tarot deck, the Light Seer's Tarot. I'm so thankful to have you, and I hope that you bring many blessings into my life and bring beautiful insights within. I ask that my Heavenly Father and Heavenly Mother will cleanse this deck of all impurities and allow it to attune to my specific energies so that I can use it for oracular messages for both myself, my clients, and everyone else that I get to do readings for. In the name of the Father, and the Mother, and the Holy Spirit, thank you. It can be very simple. It just needs to be from the heart. That's the most important thing. This is a cleansing from your heart, where you are surrounding the oracle deck with your energies, with your spiritual practice, or with your magical practice, and just allowing those energies to really get in there and attune to your oracle deck. This is a secret that I believe all mediums and all intuitive psychics use with their decks. They get very in tune with their decks. And so that's something that I don't see normal people. Most people know about the smudging and the sage and the incense. I think maybe a few people know about the crystals, but that's more popular. But definitely the blessing is one of those little things that I like to add to my deck to just start getting a better connection. The fourth way that you can cleanse your deck is something I don't have with me at the moment, is the moon. Just like many practitioners or crystal healers or Reiki masters or people that work with crystals will recommend that you put out new crystals on the full moon and you let them set out overnight and then you collect them in the morning. You can do the same thing with your tarot deck. If you're afraid of leaving a tarot deck outside, that is totally fine. You don't have to leave it outside. But if you do want to leave it outside, you can put it in a clear jar or even a Ziploc bag. Sometimes a Ziploc bag is dangerous because that does collect moisture on the inside, so it can be even worse for your cards. But put it in something so that it can breathe, but it doesn't get rain on it if you're afraid of weather changes. I prefer to just set it on my windowsill and on a window that I know is going to be facing the sky most of the time. For most of us, that's like either north or south. You don't want to put it on the east or the west because it'll only get half a night, right? So either a north facing window or a south facing window, or you could even put it out on your porch protected. It's going to get indirect light at that point, but it will still be getting what it needs to. It's just being cleansed by the moon. And one of the reasons you would want to cleanse your tarot decks by the moon, especially at their first use before you use it very extensively within your practice, is to connect to that intuitive energy. Remember, the moon is a symbol for the goddess, for intuition, for secrets, for change, and that's all about the energies of the tarot. So they are very closely linked. As a matter of fact, the second card in the tarot is the High Priestess, and that energy is very symbolic of moon energy, feminine divinity, and bringing that in. So if you want to channel your inner High Priestess and really get it to connect to your tarot deck, that's a great way to do it by setting it out in the moon, especially during the full moon cycle, which can be 3 days before or 3 days after the full moon. You can set it out on one of those nights, or some people do it all of the above, right? It's just how it personally works for you. All right, number 5, the fifth way to cleanse your deck at first use is to shuffle it. Now, I'm not going to shuffle this deck because I just got it and I really want to look at it, so we'll add that next to it. And this might be a step like maybe 4.5, where you actually look at your deck and then shuffle it before you shuffle it, because I like to look at it in order, and usually when they print it, it comes right off the printing presses. It's in order so that you can kind of see the stories, plots, points, and how this tarot deck works. And so I'm going to grab another tarot deck real quick and I'll show you different ways you can shuffle your deck in order to cleanse those energies. So here we have the Universal Celtic Tarot. I'm going to use it to cleanse because I have used it for a reading and I just tossed it back in the box, so it needs a good cleanse. So first we'll use the crystal method. We'll set this on here. Here's something you can do. The spirits just told me this. For some of you, this will resonate, not for everybody. You can take a clear quartz, tap on it 3 times, and they said, boom, it is cleansed. So apparently that is a new thing I can add to my practices now. So yay, getting messages already. But one way you can do it is the traditional shuffling your cards like that, right? That's one way to shuffle. There's another way where you hold all of the cards in one hand and then you take your thumb and pull it down. And just do that as fast as you can. That shuffles your cards. Sometimes you'll have jumpers. Those are little messages that you could look at and read. So that message on here is 4 of Cups, King of Cups, and the 5 of Cups. All right, so we're advancing a little bit on there, but something new is coming in store. So we need to be prepared for that. And then the last way to do it, I might have to change my camera angle for this one. Another way that you can shuffle your deck is set your deck on here and then just move it around like this, okay? I know it's very messy. Some people don't like this method, but if you don't like to shuffle it with your hands or you're having trouble doing the bridge method, this is a perfectly shuffled deck. Do you see that? Some people even interpret like how it kind of looks. I'm not a big, that's not my ability. That's other people's abilities. And then I just do this and then make sure it goes whoop, right? Get it all on there and then tap 3 times and do my reading, right? Boom. There we go. All right, and we're back in the regular position. So what I was gonna do, step 4.5, is look over your tarot deck. This is kind of in the getting to know your tarot. So we've cleansed our deck, we've taken care of it. I've shuffled the other deck to show you guys how to do that, but now we're going to start attuning ourselves to the energy of the deck. And the best way to do that, like I said, look at the back, how it first comes out of the box. You got a nice impression there, and I love that detail within there. Beautiful sacred geometry. Absolutely beautiful. All right, so let's start with the very first card, which we all know is 0, the Fool. And wow, that is exquisite. I mean, look at that. Doesn't that just say start new adventures, take some risks, get ready to jump? Maybe even foolishly. We do have that darkness there. There's a little bit of hesitation, maybe some doubt. But look at the beautiful pattern beneath here about how it's all a pattern of life, all a part of it. So that's the energy of the Fool in this deck. And then we have the Magician. I love that. The 4 elements being pulled in to make beautiful magic. Oh, the High Priestess is on the cover of the deck. I love how her eyes are closed, but she still sees, yes. And then she's receiving messages from her higher spiritual self, her guides, and we even have runes on there. Wow, absolutely beautiful. The colors are insane too. I might just go through the first major arcana on video just because I know this video is probably running long already. And then we have the Empress. Look at that beautiful fertility, abundance, bliss, growth, harvest, the Earth, connection with Earth. The Empress always comes through whenever I'm working with the energies of Gaia. So that is absolutely exquisite. Then we have the Emperor. Oh, look at that beautiful Aries energy. Shout out to my pal, Pharaoh Tahar. This is you, man. This card is you. He is the ultimate alchemist. But I love this energy of the Emperor here. We also have the black and white patterns, so they can be very rigid, stubborn, yet they're crowned. He knows how to play the game. Mars energy is coming through because he's setting on Mars. Very fiery. That's what I'm getting from the red and yellows. But also, he knows what he's talking about. He is enlightened, even though he is a more physical manifestation of enlightenment. It is just a step on the path, right? Beautiful. Perhaps even like the divine with this coming down here. We even have the divine coming into man, right? And then we have the Hierophant. All right, this is a beautiful Hierophant in this deck. Normally, the Hierophant is like a very archetypal Pope-like figure, but this one is very open, very enlightened, and he's realizing, I like how it kind of has Fool energy to it as well, because the Hierophant card, remember, it's always about a human construct or human creation trying to understand divine energy. So that's the energy of the Hierophant. It's also the energy of a teacher, which teaches you in steps, correct? So lessons to all leading towards enlightenment. So I absolutely love that. Ooh, check out this Lovers card. I know my Geminis out there are gonna love this energy of dark and light, yin and yang, masculine, feminine playing here. Then we have the Cross for balance, and it's just absolutely exquisite. You're also seeing some beautiful energies of melding duality, breaking through race, stereotypes. It's very, very beautiful here. I love this energy and how it's bringing light into the darkness. And then we have the Chariot. Wow, this is a very dynamic card, very energetic. He's about to spring off there to do Lord knows what. But we have duality once again in the horses, but it's how the 3D world is actually helping manifest some of your higher calling and wisdom. And you're actually more experienced than you know, and you have everything you need to move forward. So that's what this is saying here. Whether it be needing to move forward unexpectedly and you don't feel like you're ready, but you are, or whether you know you're a professional and you're about to take the jump, knowing full well that you are going to survive and do well. Then we have the beautiful Strength card. Oh, that's for all my Leos out there. We are ruled by the heart. I love that she has the tattoo on there, and I love that she is part lion, part woman. That is a beautiful message to all those Leos out there, that you are as gentle as a lamb, yet as fierce as a lion, and yet 100% totally beautifully human and perfect, and to embrace your imperfections, to understand that your weaknesses are your strengths. That's so gorgeous. I love this deck, you guys. All right, and then we have the Hermit. Oh, that just makes me want to cry. I don't know why. It's just so pretty, but it's just, this is that energy of the Hermit. See, we have the titular lamp here. So they do have their own enlightenment. But it is, in a way, the Hermit card is someone who is an elder. So maybe you have to go through proper protocols or take a proper path or channels to access this person, because they are on a higher plane of existence in a way. And so they have internalized their path to enlightenment through study, practice, years and years. And they've even taken the solitary path of where they focus on their own enlightenment and healing themselves, thus healing the world and bringing light into the world in that way. I love that the tarot shows many different ways and different paths to enlightenment. I really wish we as a spiritual community, as a magic community, can realize that there is no such thing as a true guru or a true savior, and to judge someone for something or another, all jokes aside, is negative and only detrimental to us as a whole, because everybody's journey is going to look different. My journey is not going to look like your journey, and your journey, thank goodness, is not going to look like mine or anyone else's. It's how that divine expression works in you. And this is the perfect reminder to, how does your divinity shine through? What is your gift to the world? What gift do you need to cultivate and work on before you bring it out, showing through experience? Then we have the Wheel. I love this, showing change, a shift in perspective. I enjoy that it still has the Torah on there. It's beautiful. Just absolutely gorgeous. Oh, and she's even got dice around, I couldn't tell what that was. She's even got dice around her neck, so it's showing it's a chance. So this can be if you've had good luck, you're going to shifting towards more another space where maybe there's not as good luck. Or if you've been down in the dumps, or maybe even in the valley and you've been struggling, your luck is changing, right? It's coming forward to fruition. Balancing out. I always love how the tarot goes from one to the next. It's so smoothly, from balancing out of fate to justice, where the scales are actually balanced. We also have here an image of duality, where you can see those coming in reversed or positive. So maybe if this is coming through, maybe there's some imbalance or someone trying to take control. And if this comes through, Spirit is on your side, you're sure to win your court case, and maybe things are going to be, judged in your favor. The Hanged Man. Ooh, look at her swinging over that beautiful mystery. This is really giving me Odin for sure with the Hanged Man, because his card, that is his card of whenever he hung on the tree of Yggdrasil to understand the runes. And so you see she's hanging upside down, getting a different perspective, and there are the runes teaching her in the waters of the word, right? Isn't that beautiful? I just love it. All right, and then we have Death and Rebirth. Wow, this is a magical card. Take that in. That's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. So this is a great way to get to know your deck, is to really look at it, take in the symbolism, first impressions, And that way, whenever you're shuffling it, you can go back and remember, oh yeah, this was kind of telling me this at this, and so that maybe this message needs to come through. But here we have Temperance, bringing in that angelic heavenly alchemy, shifting day to night, night to day, etc., balancing the two, duality. Then we have the Devil, Temptation. I love that this guy is very handsome, very sexy, trying to pull you in there. And you see that it's a puppet master kind of energy, but also remember that not everything is as it seems, right? So there's a little bit of illusion going on here, a little bit of deceit as well. And then we have the Tower. Oh no, poor squirrel. He's worked so hard all winter and now his his nut stash has disappeared. Sorry, I know, jokes. All right, so but like lightning just strikes, but there's beautiful messages here because he's going to find a way. He still has two. He's good. He can rebuild, right? And so here we have the star energy, make a wish upon a star. We also have visions here with the mushroom coming through. I love the colors of the indigo and the turquoise and the pink. It's really telling you these are higher chakra energies with the star. Be careful what you wish for, I'm hearing with this one. Then we have the gorgeous moon. We have a white wolf and a black wolf symbolizing duality. And then the illusion in between, which is where we stand as humans and how sometimes when we're overpowered by emotion, we can get stuck in the middle. It's absolutely beautiful. And even though we feel like we're drowning, we are going through a change, a shift. Oh, then we have the sun. Wow. This deck is exquisite. If you have not heard of the Light Seers deck, I would definitely highly recommend this for people that are intuitive, because boy, these cards are really sending beautiful messages to me. The sun here is obviously about new beginnings, rebirths, a brighter day, brighter days ahead, just all those beautiful, lovely, sunny energies that you always get. But also it can be moderation, right? Because you don't want too much sunshine or you end up getting burned. All right, Judgment is the next card out. That's absolutely beautiful. This is judging yourself. Judging from within, I hear. Also having a moment where you are connecting to source, possibly understanding the whole and how you are connected. I love that. Beautiful. Maybe even understanding why things went the way they went, or what you've gone through, why you've gone through what you've gone through. That's the energy of the Judgment card, coming to show you why those lessons came through. And then we have 21, the World. A total shift, total enlightenment before moving back into, look, we're entering this. And then here we have, I love this little thing. Oh, we have the same symbol on the last card of the major arcana, coming through a portal into, about to dive into a new way of being. The beginning and the end and the beginning. They're all connected, right? With death and rebirth in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to quickly show you these cards. This was the card that made me fall in love with it, the Ace of Wands. Absolutely beautiful. So here we have 2 of Wands, 3 of Wands, 4 of Wands, 5 of Wands, 6 of Wands, 7 of Wands, 8 of Wands, 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands. We go to our cards. We have the Page, Knight, Queen, King, and now we're going to the Cups. So we have Ace of Cups here, absolutely beautiful. 2 of Cups, all of it. Gorgeous 3 of Cups, 4 of Cups, 5, 6, 7 of Cups, 8 of Cups, 9 of Cups, and 10. And then we go over to the Page. Oh, that's interesting. 8 of Cups, 9 of Cups, 4 of Cups, Queen of Cups, and the King of Cups. Look at that, it's exquisite. Then we have the Ace of, what is it? Ace of Swords. That's right, Ace of, oh, it's okay, it's not words, it's okay, sorry. The 2 of Swords, 3 of Swords, 4 of Swords, 5 of Swords, 6 of Swords, 7 of Swords, 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords, 10, 11, 12. Oh, sorry, King of Swords, right. Now we're to Aces. Again, Ace of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. We have a Page, a Knight, Queen, and a King. Beautiful. Now, that is one way to attune to your deck. Just look through each and every one of them. Another way that I like to attune to my deck is pull out the manual and read it. A lot of the time, there's going to be a little message in here on how you can attune to these cards. So right here, it says, working and healing with the Light Seer Tarot. so tarot basics. If this is your first experience with the tarot, welcome. What an absolute honor it is to share this beautiful practice with you. Know that there is no right or wrong way to read with the cards. Did you hear that, folks? There's no right or wrong way to do it. How you do it is how you do it. All right, so it's no need to memorize every card reading. Good, because I couldn't, even if I tried. I created the artwork on each card to deliver a clear message to you, and each character is a sacred guide to your own intuition. So your first impression of the card is the best meaning. So this really doesn't have any ways to really connect with it. It just kind of goes over the suits and upright versus reversed. Connect with your cards. Start by choosing your light and shadow cards. All right, so before you get started, take a moment to connect with your cards by simply flipping through the deck with the intention to see each card and feel its unique energy. Hey, we've already done that. Maybe we're psychic. You will be getting yourself acquainted with the stories and themes in the Light Seer's Tarot. As you spend time noticing characters and scenarios, take note of your visceral reaction to the cards. The images that bring you the most joy will be your light card, whereas the card you feel the most aversion to will be your shadow. So let's just, as a little experiment, do my light card and my shadow card. Okay, I think I already know this. So I didn't really have any cards that I just had an aversion to, but there definitely was a card that really connected with me as like my light cards. Okay. Okay, maybe I had, maybe not. All right, let's just look through here. Now I'm trying to find something that triggers me. Trigger me, deck. Trigger me. Do it. You know you want to. Ooh, that's pretty triggering. But no, I don't think that's the one. Ooh, I hate that. Okay. We found it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so I found 2 light cards and 1 really dark shadow card for me. So my 2 light cards are the Hanged Man and the Hermit, just because I like these light green energies. I like the shift in perspective about how they're focusing on their own internal enlightenment and messages. That's something that I really aspire to and enjoy doing. Sorry, I'm not looking at that or looking at you. I'm kind of looking at the cards right now. But then I really like also this path about how the path to enlightenment isn't easy. You know, she's hanging upside down. She had to walk through all this, get through this cave that was kind of dark, you know. So that's a beautiful light image of kind of my path and how I've gone through enlightenment. And then this one, oh, this is so triggering to me. Not seeing what's happening and then being attacked while you're doing it by these 2 birds, which is funny because I'm wearing. So we have the ravens here just pecking at her head, getting her all tousled up, her thoughts and memories just really getting confused. And to me, that's really difficult. Getting lost in your brain is a little triggering for me. And also being indecisive, not knowing which way to go, which is probably why I turned to tarot in the first place. So then to clear the energies out, like I said, we just shuffle them really good. Yes. Oh, maybe not really good. And then there we go. That was terrible. I was trying to do it off the table. Sorry, guys. Okay, so that is the way to connect to your tarot decks. Now I'm going to go into just a little bit something different for your oracle decks. So let's jump into Kyle Gray's The Angel Guide. Let's do this. Okay. It's open. It's happening. We're opening the deck. Okay. Take the protector off. Ooh, look at that beautiful. Okay. So the pattern in the box matches the pattern on the card, which is exquisite. I'm feeling like that is definitely a beautiful sigil that he had crafted with the artist. I'm loving the energies. Now, when it comes to oracle decks, you do the same thing. You can do the crystals, you can smudge, or use some incense to clean. You can set it under the moon. and you would definitely want to bless this deck. So let's start here. Hello, angels. Beautiful, beautiful angels. Thank you so much for sending me this deck. I do ask that you speak clearly and healing and beautifully and compassionately and lovingly and kindly through this deck for my clients and for myself and for anyone else that I read for. I am so thankful for this blessing, and thank you for always being there for me in both when I can see you and when I cannot. Thank you. Just saying a little thank you for the angels for walking with me. And now, without further ado, let's dive in, because as we said, you want to look at each card and really pick up on its resonance. So we have angelic protection, ask and receive, wow, blessings and abundance. This is a beautiful deck, clear and cancel. Yeah, that's nice. Compassion, isn't she a beauty? Yes, composure. Now, of course, as you all know, angels are neither male or female. They can be either. It's just that our psyche, our mentality puts a sex on them, or the energies. If it's more nurturing or loving, we tend to think of it as more feminine. If it's more strong, protective, and evocative, we tend to think of that as more masculine or aggressive. So then with this card, we do have courageous and bravery, courage and bravery. Cut the cords, look at that, with Archangel Michael coming in there with his shield of light and sword of truth. Divine timing, 1111, look at that, I love that color. I also love all the different ethnicities that are in this deck coming through, not just showing that angels aren't just Caucasian, like they show in classical art. All right, they're a little bit of everything. They're a little bit of all of us. Maybe even God created the angels and then they created man, so maybe he used a template of some kind, just minus the wings. Darn it. So do the work with this card. We have earth and ground. Ooh, there's that beautiful sigil coming back through, grounding and earthing, ease and grace. Here we have some beautiful yoga postures coming in and balance there. Expect miracles. Look at that big O smile. And with that gold energies and all those energies flowing, how could you not expect miracles? We have forgiveness and understanding coming through. That's beautiful. This is giving me Archangel Raphael energies. Yeah. Or maybe even Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel energies. Friendship and union, I love that. Look at what can be made whenever you see a different perspective. Our guardian angel, there she is, here to protect us with all of her strength and might, harmony and resolution. She's an energetic angel. She's beautiful. Look at that hair. Gorgeous. Healing energies, all those sigils and practices. That's absolutely gorgeous. Holy love. We all need a little more love, don't we? Honesty and communication. There we go. Inner child healing. That's nice. Lovely. A lot of us are working on that here in 2020. And recently we've been receiving a lot of intuition and downloads. Joy and contentment. Wow, look at that fertile tree. Learning and experience is giving me hermit vibes there. Listen deeply to the ones you love and to the ones who are close to you that you love and trust. Listen to them. Yeah, there's the horn. Manifestation. It begins with you. Mother, Father, God. Oh, I love that. That's what I say. Holy Father, Holy Mother, and the Holy Spirit that wraps it all together. Oh, and then we have a no. All right, so no, nada. You're not getting that request. Opportunity and chance. Gorgeous. Oh, these two cards were sticking together. So opportunity and chance go hand in hand with power and intention. Yes. Raise your vibration here with Lord Metatron. That's him right there, looking good. Then we have romance and connection. A sacred plan. Love that. Self-acceptance. signs and reminders with the angel feathers. I don't know about you, but when I'm working with the fairies or the angels, I find feathers everywhere. Spiritual growth, strength and guidance, stuck with surrender. That's important to remember. Surrender. Take a step back. It's you don't have to rush into this. I love that. Here we go. That was what? Take charge in action. Transformation. Yes. Trust the universe. Absolutely beautiful. Vulnerability and freedom, followed by the final card. Yes, you should get this deck by Kyle Gray. I'm just kidding. He's amazing though, so you should support him. And now we're gonna look at, where did the book go? Oh, the book is under the cards. Okay, so like I said with the tarot, sometimes it's good to look at the book, but especially with an oracle deck, you do want to read the book thoroughly because that's going to tell you different things about the deck, what it's used for, and something to add on there. When you're reading over the manual, this is going to help you attune to the energies of that specific deck. Because like I said, this is a themed tarot deck. So it is geared towards light seers, light workers, and people that might consider themselves, white witches or higher vibrational beings, angelic beings, maybe even the Fey realm, just those higher energies that really like to do healing, light work, things like that. This is for you. Might not be the best doom and gloom tarot, or might not give it to you straight. I'm sure it can and still packs a wallop, but I'm just saying it's designed and themed towards that. So if you don't understand those energies, you might have some research to do before the symbols really pop out and hit you, because I noticed there was a lot of sacred geometry in here. Same thing with this. There's a lot of symbolism and sigils going on, especially if you work with the angels, so you might want to check out those sigils before you read this. Great place to start is the book. But if you're working with themed tarots, you want to check out the manual to attune to that energy, because sometimes you might need to attune to like mermaid energies or angel energies or fairy energies. So if you're trying to use a vampire deck, a vampire themed tarot deck to talk to the fairies, maybe it's not the best idea. Perhaps you should get a fairy themed tarot deck for them to speak through you, because some people channel different energies with that. Same goes with if you have like, a Native American tarot deck, you want to be respectful of that culture and attune to that culture when you're working with them. And so it's important to check on your deck. Now with this one, it's Angel Guide Oracle. So for me, it's all about attuning to the angels. And this was I know Kyle Gray is really good about, he says how to use your Angel Guide Oracle cards. So this says these cards will help you uncover the incredible bond you have with your angel guide, or rather, remember that bond. So he recommends connecting with your deck. He gives a nice little blessing here that you can pause and read if you want to do that with this deck, bonding with your cards, and then they're ready to work with. He starts telling you, pick a card every morning, meditate with your cards, carry your cards around. That's a wonderful way to connect with your cards, is to have them around you. Use them as often as possible. Set them beside your bed, sleep with them, just like you're studying, like a subject that you were studying in school that you really enjoyed. You carried that book around with you all the time. It's that sort of thing. The more energy you put into it, the better connection you're going to have. All right, communicate with them. The angelic realm operates under divine law. That means we can't receive angelic support unless we welcome it in. So you have to welcome the angels in to work with these, or you're just going to be drawing the cards. So conducting angel readings, it's all about attraction, shuffling cards, and reading for yourself. There's some great information in here. I'm going to let you get the deck and read it for yourself. But we're going to jump into, now that we've talked about how to attune to your deck, reading the manual, all of that fun stuff, we're going to do one final reading with these cards, and I'm going to shuffle them to get their energies mixed up here. And then I'm going to ask them, this is a reading that I do with almost every single deck that I have. And I tend to write it down and leave it in the box so that I know what this deck wants to do in my life. Because a lot of us say, well, how do I use this deck? Why don't you ask it? That's what I tell people. Ask that deck, what do you want to do in my life? What are you here for? So I've received this angel guide oracle. Now let's ask the angels how they want to. Oh, there's one card. Oh, there's 3 cards. 4. Jeez. All right. They want to do a lot of stuff. Okay. So right off the bat, I'm looking at the bottom of the deck. Remember, that's just the hidden energies. This is going to help me stay earthed and grounded. So that's going to keep me connected to the physical world, which is good. And then the big jumper was opportunity and change. So this is going to help me and my clients, and when I'm doing readings with people with opportunities and change. So if I had a client coming to me and saying, there's so many changes happening in my life, what do I need to do? This would be a great deck to grab. Also, it can be something where if I realize they need an opportunity or they need change, I could grab this deck, right? Okay, and so this is saying, this right here, this pairing is saying you don't accept yourself very well. No, they're calling me out, guys. Okay, so they say you need to practice more self-love. You've been saying no, you're not taking care of yourself, and you need to love yourself more, and you will open up and everything will be more clear for you. Yes. And then it's also going to help with angelic protection and composure. So this is interesting. So composure is coming 2 different ways. Number 1, keep your cool. And then number 2, it's also going to help me compose, like writing, working on these videos, different things like that. So they're here to help me creatively as well as to look more professional. So the angels want me to keep my composure. They want me to stay cool, right? So that is all for this video. I wanted to thank you all so much for spending some time with me. I know this video is a little long, but oh, why don't I pick a card for you? Angels, would you pick a card for my watchers, for them being gracious enough to watch me with this unboxing and maybe learning a couple of tips here? So angels, oh, there goes a feather. Oh, the angels are here. Oh, how exciting. All right, let's see here. All right, one more shuffle. Let's do this. Okay, and what cards do you have for everyone watching this video right now, angels? Oh. All right. They're wanting to remind you that 2021 has been rough and it's been hard to stay in the moment. But if you will connect to each moment, ground in the energies, ground in the lessons, integrate everything that you have learned, you will start on the path towards spiritual enlightenment, and you will continue to grow and you will continue to shine. Yes. That's a beautiful message from the angels for all of us for here in December 2020. I hope you guys all have a beautiful day. Thank you for spending some time with me. I've really enjoyed it. If you like this message or if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out the links below for everything there. And I love you all so much. Many blessings.